system operating infrastructure projects. The system of
Good morning, we're here in Toulouse for the International Congress on Canals, the World Conference on Canals. Much of the conference is dedicated to tourism, but some people are still fighting to have a vision for the future, to have new canals which need to be built if we want to develop Europe, if we want to have peace in the world between the East and the West. We need mutual economic development. So somewhere there are some people still lobbying, especially like Mr. Krista Paskovic from Serbia, but also some people from China. And China and Serbia are actually, as we have discovered here, are in a dialogue eventually to do a new canal program, which Mr. Paskovic will present to us.
Thank you for a very good introduction. I like to say that I am really happy that after 200 years, 180 years, when the first time started that idea from some people, our Serbian people who live in America and Russia, they prepared this program and they tried to do something. But after many problems, this idea is stopped. Stopped because of economical problem, but also stopped, what is my opinion, because of political reason. Some country in Europe very much like to be done this project, and some country opposite of that. I am on one international meeting on 2002 in Belgrade. We speak about Danube River of Cooperation when we opened this subject, and some neighbor country of past Yugoslavia, I don't like to say the name, it's very ugly discuss with me about that project. Opposite of that, I found something very strange but very nice, that some people in Germany very strong support this. Like when I found the Schiller Institute paper, what I read, my friend from France sent me this, and I'm surprised that they write very positive about this project, what I like. And I must remind something, the people everything forget. I say that the Germany make great things when they open Rhine-Main Channel 92, 25 September. And
This was the big program to connect the Danube,
yes,
from the Caspian Sea,
yes,
with the Rhine,
yes.
so that the exchange from the East and the West would be much
Unbelievable,
easier.
and I think many people, because most politician people like to say something wrong and something opposite of the other. They don't care about future and the benefit of the simple people. They usually care about politicians, and they say, no, this is ridiculous what they do. But I ask 1,000 people, do you know how old is the project who make connection with Maina Danube?
Can you show first on the map
yes,
which
I
program?
want to show something about this, what I say. And I found 1,000 people, they didn't know that the project Maina Danube, which connects North Sea to Black Sea, it's old 1,300 years when Karel Vereycken started to build. Also our project now, what we like in Serbia, to connect Danube to Thessalonica through the river Morava and Axios, it will be very good things, and it's old about 186 years, something like that, when they start. And I found also here in Toulouse, one man told me when they start to build this canal Dimidi, one idea, it's realized of one dream of one little boy who have 10 years, and he believe in this canal, and when he come to the 60, the project start. She fight for this project 50 years. I fight for this project with many people, and I believe that if we organize this, we will give better life to the whole Balkan country and will be more organized. I believe this is also a good job for many companies in Europe, and will be benefit like what they do in Germany for Maina Danube Canal.
What I've read in this paper is that there's a lot of interest from China, and that I think the president of Serbia went to China, and that there were Chinese engineers who came to Serbia to evaluate the feasibility. Right. Because what does this represent for China? commerce with Europe?
We believe that this is reason because in Thessalonica is big port. Now I little live in Greece and live in Serbia, and I know this situation, I think, because these things will develop very much this area, and through Thessalonica to come to Danube, it's shorter way, and I think the Chinese recognize this, and they know that it's possible because just before, I think, 1 year, they finish a big project, Three Gorge in China,
right,
which is really unbelievable. I think this project they built 15 years, but it's a huge project, and they have good experience about that. And this is the reason maybe why we call them. This region, if we build this, will be the 4th region which will have the net of canals and rivers. Why? First net, it's in England. The second net is France. The third net, for me, it is Belgium, Holland, part of the Germany and Poland. And the fourth part, which really have the net of inland waterway, we have now about 2,000 kilometers, close to 2,000. And if we organize better infrastructure and dredging some rivers and some canals, maybe we possibly have 3,500. But if we put together all, because I'm international person, even I'm Serbian, I like to put in that project all country, neighbors country, like Serbia to be in that place where is in the Belgrade, in like central region of Danube, and together to make with Hungarian, Romanian, Croatian, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Serbia, and part of Bulgaria, one net. And this net maybe in the future will have more than 5,500 kilometers approximately, which possible to use. The future development program, what they speak, people from Inland Waterway Association, maybe will be in Russia, because this is the 5th region. But we like to be the 4th, and we are happy if this project with China realize, because we'll give better life, we socialize people, and I must say people who don't have a high level of school, high level of education, with this construction on that way from Smederevo place to the Thessalonica, if we organize this infrastructure behind left and right side of that canal, it's maybe 5 or 10 or 15 kilometers will be organized. Also, one very important thing is not only transport, because people speak about transport. I don't speak about transport, I speak about general. What is environment in that area? After that, we will not have a flow, big flow every year in Morava River. We have big problem in April. We have this year unbelievable big water. Now we don't have water. We must to protect also this water, to keep the water. The water is our life. And who don't understand what is water, better to not speak. We must keep our water to be, we have enough water, but we must correct use, not to leave to go. But I must say, it will be benefit for all Balkan countries, general for the Europe. When I have been in Berching, Germany, I say, now you finish Mina Danube project, why you don't come with all your equipment, because this equipment now will go to the garbage. Or we stay somewhere. Why you don't come with all this equipment, come to that project on 1992 and to the next one. And some people like it. But in that period, more activity have politician than the worker. And that's the reason. I am engineer, I like worker, and I want to say thank you to the Schiller Institute, because he really give good impression for all my friends. I sent this report of Schiller Institute to 550 mails in Serbia. Now, all of them, they know, and they don't understand very good English. And they say, Krista, but what they write there? They write that this project, it's not opposite, it is for the future, and it's good. And they don't complain like some other country.
We, the Schiller Institute, we also think we should have industry and tourism in the same time.
No, they must, I am without this.
Because if everybody is unemployed, they will not go anymore on tourist crusades.
You are absolutely right.
So we need, the main channels should be very large for huge barge traffic, and then the lesser canals we can do beautiful tourism. But we have you have to walk on two legs.
Good. Also, now you give me good point. What you say, it's for me, it's three figures. You have three figures about industry and tourism. Three figures. First, to make infrastructure, not big, not huge. 1,000 little family company possible to be involved. Infrastructure is the first. Second is equipment, boat and equipment for this industry.
Yes.
Will make it. This industry will make for tourism. And the third things, why I call propeller with three things, it is services. If we don't have services, the people who will do this and organize, it will be unuseless. And these three figures, why I call Danube propeller with three propeller, I say that it will be good to use all these three things. What you say, absolutely right. I not divide tourism. Tourism will not exist if we don't have good and proper industry.
Exactly.
Without industry, is not possible.
Especially because Serbia and the Balkans, there is a big potential for industrial workers.
Yes,
you know, as
absolutely.
compared
You're
to
right.
other regions.
Now they don't have job. We
So,
are before.
we want to give a mission to Europe, not to produce everything for everybody else, but to produce machine tools,
Yes.
to produce the machines which they can use in Asia or in Africa to build themselves, you know,
absolutely.
tractors, everything they need. And I mean, we should not export just cars, you know, we should do the machine tools which can
to produce the other things. And that is
Exactly.
good. That is good.
and as far as I know, in Eastern Europe, there's still a qualified labor force which could be put to work on these machine tool industries.
No, these things we say will give new blood in the
Exactly.
Balkan country.
Exactly.
Because if you do this from Belgrade, Smederevo town to Thessalonica, you will have now new about 4 countries. But also, I think will support this and the country around, and will be huge things.
Okay.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
talking to us. Mr. Zong, very happy to be with us.
Yeah, nice to meet
Thank
you.
you to be here in France.
Uh,
Yesterday there was your presentation and other people spoke about the Grand Canal.
yeah.
Could you say in some words what's your sense of the meaning of... My impression is that the Grand Canal in China played a very important role for the food security of the country.
Yeah,
Because some areas can produce
yeah.
rice and then exchange it to other regions.
In Eastern China, the south area produce the rice a lot. The south. So, but in the north, there are lack of the rice and other goods. So, the Grand Canal has an important role in transporting the rice from the south to the north. So it's the first function of the canal, and I think the other is to promote.
Was there famine before and food security afterwards?
Before is the military, I think. Before is the military function of the Grand Canal. It's the first function. It's the
first function was
traffic.
Military.
Yeah,
To
and
transport troops or
troops or rice or goods from the south and from one area to another. Because in the Asian, in that stage, the canal is just regional, not a national, not from the south.
regional, rather national.
Yeah, it's just spread in some area, not the whole country, and then connected from Hangzhou to Beijing, very long, about 1,794 kilometers. It's
1,794 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's much more than the Seine Nord. That's 17 times more than the biggest project we have now in Europe.
Yeah. So, and the second I think is the economic, because when the boat shift from south to north, besides the rice, they took with another thing, other goods, And when they stop at some area, they exchange the goods with the local people.
Exactly.
So it's important.
Created cooperation between the regions.
Yeah. So, and the third function I think is to promote the cultural communication because it's different from the south and the north. They have different background and different climates, so the culture is very different. So
True. China is very big.
Yeah, it's very big. So the canal plays an important role in exchange culture,
Unifying
unifying the whole country. So it's the most important and greatest engineer in the Eastern China.
I was very impressed with your graphics on the climbing up of the stairs. Because in Europe they tell us that the locks and dams were only invented in the 15th, 16th century. While you clearly demonstrated with the illustrations that locks and dams were already used in China at least in the 7th century.
Maybe 7th century, maybe earlier. And Lynch, another canal in the south of our country, maybe it's about 4th century, maybe 4th century, used the lock. The lock is just a simple lock.
In the 4th century,
maybe,
the first locks,
according
to your research,
maybe in the 4th century.
Is as early.
Just a simple lock.
That's very interesting because I have friends in the United States. They want to build a canal from Alaska to Mexico to take part of the rainfall from the north, from Alaska, and to bring it, to divert it to the arid regions of the United States and Mexico. It's a huge distance. And the only comparable project is the Grand Canal, which is as big. So they will be very happy to hear you about what we have said today on this issue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Mr. Vereycken, welcome. Thanks to be with us here. You're a prominent lobbyist for canal building and the conservation of the canal system. Next year, the International Conference on Canals will be organized in Milan, 2014. Milan historically has been considered the cradle of science of canals, also because Leonardo da Vinci lived in Milan, painted The Last Supper, but he also worked a lot on canals. In 1517, the French king brought Da Vinci to France to help France build the canal systems. Da Vinci made the first maps for Le Havre. He also identified the trajectory for the Canal du Centre. And Milan, therefore, is considered to be one of the historical moments in the history of canal buildings in Europe. And you have investigated this issue. Can you tell us more why Milan has been so important in the history of
But
this
you
aspect?
said it, you already said it. But anyway, Milano really is the center of, there was a scuola idraulica milanese which taught all the world to build up canals. And Leonardo da Vinci stayed for a long time in Milano, where he did not only paint, but he studied how to improve locks. In fact, there is a Vinciana lock. And there is still one in Milano without water. And if you go to Piazza della Scala, you will see the monument where Leonardo just shows to Vico il Moro la coca dell'Incoronata. Then Leonardo went studying how to overpass some rocks along the River Adda, and that is a formidable background of the Virgin of the Rocks you got in Louvre, in Paris, and of Gioconda as well. Anyway, Milano really is the center of a system of navigli which joins the two rivers, Adda and Ticino, and they connect the rivers with Po. And once upon a time there was the navigation from Milano to Venezia. And then the authorities are studying how to reprehend the navigation. So I think that Milano is the ideal center to host a world conference, and it is the first time. I succeeded in making the authorities accept this. I'm very proud of it.